At Thanksgiving, my sister stood up and said, "We voted, you're not family anymore." Everyone cheered. I just smiled and pulled out my laptop. "That's perfect timing," I said, opening it up, because I was about to show everyone what I've been working on. My sister rolled her eyes. "Nobody cares about your boring job stuff." "Oh, this isn't about work." I turned the screen around. "It's about the DNA test I had done on all of you." The room went dead silent. "See, I've been suspicious for years. Dad's blood type never made sense with mine. Mom's eyes are brown, Dad's are blue, mine are green, so I collected samples." My mom's fork clattered to her plate. "You did what?" "Hair from brushes, saliva from shared drinks. It's amazing what you can test these days." I scrolled through the results. "Turns out you're right, Haley. I'm not family." Dad stood up, face red. "This is insane, because none of you are my biological parents." I closed the laptop. "I'm adopted, have been my whole life, and apparently, I'm the only one who didn't know." My sister's mouth hung open. "So thanks for the vote. Saved me the awkward conversation about why I've been feeling like an outsider for 30 years. I grabbed my coat. My real family's expecting me for dessert anyway. The silence that followed was deafening. My cousin Laura was the first to speak up. "Wait, what do you mean adopted? Mom, is this true?" My mother's face had gone completely pale. She kept opening and closing her mouth like a fish out of water. "Answer her," I said calmly, "because I've got all the documentation right here. Birth certificates, adoption papers, the whole 9 yards." My dad finally found his voice. Where did you find the papers?" "They were in the attic, right next to all those photo albums where I mysteriously don't appear until I'm about 2 years old." I pulled out my phone. "I also found my biological parents. They live about 3 hours from here. Lovely people, by the way." Haley was still staring at me in shock. "You're lying. This is some sick joke because we hurt your feelings." "Am I?" I pulled up a photo on my phone. "This is my biological father. Notice the green eyes, the same nose, the way we both have that crooked smile?" I showed the phone around the table. Everyone leaned in to look. "His name is Robert. He's a veterinarian. My biological mother is named Catherine. She's a teacher. They've been looking for me for 32 years. My mom finally spoke, her voice barely a whisper. "We were going to tell you." "When? When I was 40? 50? On my deathbed?" I laughed, but there was no humor in it. "You know what the funny part is? They didn't give me up because they didn't want me. They were teenagers who thought I'd have a better life with an older, stable family." "We gave you a good life," Dad protested. "Did you? Because from where I'm sitting, it feels like you've been treating me like an outsider my entire life, always wondering why I didn't quite fit, why I was different, why family gatherings felt forced." Uncle Mike, who had been silent this whole time, spoke up. "We all knew. We've all known since you were little." The betrayal hit me like a physical blow. Everyone knew except me. "It wasn't our place to tell," Aunt Ruth said quietly. "But it was your place to vote me out of the family?" I stood up slowly. "You know what? Robert and Catherine are having their own Thanksgiving dinner tonight. They invited me weeks ago, before I even told them about today's little ceremony." I walked toward the door, then paused. "Oh, and Haley, that wellness cafe you wanted to start, the one you needed me to co-sign for? My biological parents own 3 successful businesses. They're actually interested in hearing my ideas." I opened the door and turned back one final time. "Thanks for setting me free. I should have done this 30 years ago." As I walked out, I could hear the explosion of voices behind me, accusations, arguments, and what sounded like my mother crying. But for the first time in my life, I felt like I was going home to my real family. The drive to Robert and Catherine's house was the most peaceful 3 hours I'd ever experienced. No guilt, no obligation, no wondering why I never quite belonged. When I pulled into their driveway, they were waiting on the porch with warm smiles and genuine excitement to see me. That's when I knew I'd made the right choice.